So 8th grade science, these are the directions for the hearing loss / protection assignment. That's kind of looking at those sound waves. So if you open that up on Google Classroom, it's a Google Doc, and there's kind of a different variety of links that you're going to be using to kind of explore hearing loss and ways to protect it, things like that. So the first one, what you're going to do is you're going to learn a little bit about hearing, I think. Yeah, so this is a little bit of reading that you're going to do. Some of these answers, I think they can all be found in the text. But for those who don't like to read, the video is also really comprehensive too, and kind of covers all this kind of stuff. It really just talks about how hearing works within your brain, which is neat. And you'll have some questions to kind of answer about that. When you get down here, you're looking at decibel levels. So decibels, as this website talks about, is a measurement of how loud something is. So I don't know if you guys have like an Apple Watch like I do, but sometimes it'll alert me if I'm next to like a really loud noise, which is kind of cool. And all it's doing is using the microphone to measure the decibels. So this is, again, a reading. What I really, really like is this graphic here. And this is what I would look at mainly. I'm actually going to zoom out a bit so we can see the whole thing. Let me do one more. Because if you look at your assignment, what you're going to be doing is you're going to try and pick essentially 7 events from this graphic, 7 of them. And what you're going to do is you're going to say essentially what the event is and the decibel level, and then explain why exposure at that certain level may or may not damage your hearing. So for example, if I were to write down the activity of mowing my lawn, right? So I'd write lawnmower, I'd write 85 to 95 decibels. And then I would explain, since that's in the red range, how that could, hurt my hearing. It's because it's so loud. And knowing what I know about hearing, sound waves essentially vibrate hairs in your ear, and then those vibrations is what we understand as what we're hearing. And so because the decibel level is so high, it's actually going to vibrate my ear hairs so much that can cause damage to them. So that's kind of the idea in the example, and you'll have learned that up here that you can use down here. When you get to this one, you're going to use a simulation to kind of see what it's like for people who have hearing loss. So my dad, who spent a long time riding a tractor, which is really loud, without hearing protection, I was always annoyed with him because he could never hear me. But I would say he probably has like mild hearing loss, which kind of sounds like this.
Hi, Hedley. How's it going?
Good, Grandpa.
What did you do in school today?
And you can kind of see it's not too bad. If someone has moderate, it'll gray out more of the text here because their hearing loss is worse. You know how different that is? And if I have severe, I can hardly hear anything, but I might have to turn my speakers up. It's kind of crazy. And you can do different situations as well. So like a conversation is actually really easy, but compared to like a restaurant where there's background noise,
So guess what I ran into in high school the other day?
it's a lot harder. So it's kind of interesting to kind of experience that as someone who is able to hear. And if you're not, then this is, something you probably know about. But you're going to test different scenarios and different levels of hearing loss and kind of talk about which scenario would affect your life the most, given if you had moderate, mild, or severe. You're going to look at this link. This is next. This is a decibel level chart. My internet's being slow. So this is our decibel level chart. It's kind of similar to that graphic that you just looked at. And what you're going to be doing is you're just kind of talking about how you might protect your hearing in these different scenarios, which you can read here. So if I am in a shouting match between my friends, I try and find that here, that shouting match. Is it on here, or did I just make that up? I think I just made that. I think this is what you want, preventing your hearing from that. So you could use this to kind of help you, right? So if you're a shouting match with friends, maybe you put in earplugs, maybe you walk away, etc. You guys can get the idea of what you're looking for there. Sorry, it says use this decibel chart to figure it out, but I would actually probably use the protecting your damage from hearing. That's probably, I think, a little bit easier for you. All right, and then I think and then you're just going to kind of draw some sound waves for these different scenarios, and then you should be good to go. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.